to the world that summer.
Introduce Mike Muffy, our bass player over there, our fill in.
Come over just a little more. That's right.
Whoa! Yeah, this is.
All right, there we go.
No.
We'll just get a
Alright,
still frame
so
shot.
no bass player
No
today.
bass player. Okay.
Close.
Our bass player is not here. He lives in Cambridge. It's too far away. And he owns a house. It's very demanding. I'm Dave, and I do vocals in the world that summer.
I'm Steve, and I play guitar in the world that summer.
I'm Jesse. I played drums in the world that summer.
I'm Ollie, and among other things, I also play guitar in the band The World That Summer.
And Mike plays bass.
Mike plays bass, but he's not here right
No,
now.
he's not here right now. So yes.
That's your thing, because you're putting that in, so...
Well,
You have the necessary info.
do I have the song?
Yeah, the song's done.
It's done. There's no Game of Thrones thing in there.
Oh, that's true. We're missing the audio sample.
Okay, so we just got to put the audio sample of Game of Thrones into that song, and then that's done. But Nyande plugin is, as far as I know, they're still writing, and they haven't recorded yet. So we knew that wasn't going to be happening until this summer at the earliest. But we already had our song recorded, so we just decided to keep it for that.
Right on.
So that's kind of your thing again.
Okay.
Welcome to the Dave Show with your host, Dave.
Dave.
Featuring
Dave.
others.
Okay. So I also do vocals in a project called Murtex
Shameless plug.
with Chris, who played in a whole bunch of other really good bands.
Like what?
Like Jenny Piccolo, Makara, Yaphet Kodo, and so forth. So anyway,
I love so forth.
we went on tour in
Great
the
band.
U.S. and we needed a bass player for that.
Band.
So we got.
Ow.
I got my friend Jesse to play, and he said when we were on tour that he wanted to do some kind of split with either Murtex or whatever new band I end up with, and ended up making a band after that, and so we already knew that our first couple songs were going to go on a split with him, and that's how it came about.
I play drums.
You do.
You do the pretty vocals too.
I was told to do things for a record, and I did them.
Okay.
That's what I contributed.
Okay. Steve used to write the songs pretty much before coming to practice.
Well,
the first three or four.
which song? The 3 songs that are on the split? Is that what the question is asking?
Just in general.
I think it's just more in general.
As an evolution, maybe.
Yeah, well, it says that these are new tunes, but these are actually the oldest of the stuff that we have. Our new tunes don't really
Actually,
sound
no.
the same.
Impending's part of the original 3.
Yep.
And so
Right.
Swine.
that's coming out
I
later.
wrote 2 of the 3 of the original 3.
That's true.
2 or 3, yeah.
I don't know what's going on.
Oh,
ain't
no,
bad.
well, because Sad Boys was, what, 4th?
Yeah, and then
No,
we did
5th.
Sad Boys
We-
and Cells, so then we did 2 of yours that you wrote before.
Yeah.
So here's part of the answer is that he wrote a couple songs and he wrote a couple songs.
Basically, we work best. Like, me and Steve have played together, like, since, like, we started
Yeah.
playing music in general. Like, we
Pretty
just, like, that's how we learned to play guitars. So, like, Steve basically comes up with, oh, what do you think of this? And I have the part that fills that in. Or I'll be like, what do you think of this? And he has the part up here that fills that in. And it just, it goes together. I'm not overly, I don't know about you guys, but I'm not, like, overly concerned with if I'm writing post-rock or if I'm writing screamo.
No, not really.
It's whatever fits into what's being created
Is
at
it
that
cool?
time.
Do I like playing it? Do I think it'll gel well with our stuff? And that's, you know,
Yeah.
and it
And I
seems to so far. We got a bit of diversity this way.
I think Ollie and Steve, maybe starting out when they were younger, came from more of a metal background. Ollie and Steve played in a metal band together.
Way back. Yeah.
AFI in the early days, and then like fucking death metal in our teen years.
Yeah. And I came from sort of a punk background, which Steve kind of does now with another band that he's playing in.
Yeah.
And I think it's an evolution of, you know, melting everything down that we like, setting out maybe for a goal to do something, but I think it's kind of finding its own sort of
Yeah, I didn't
place.
really, yeah.
Norman core, maybe.
Norman core.
Dave.
I didn't really
And then-
have, like, an idea of what I was doing. I just kind of wrote songs and demoed them on my computer. Basically songs that weren't punk songs, because the punk songs I just used from my other band. So I started writing a bunch of non-punk songs, and they just had this kind of super melodic, post-rock, post-whatever feel to them. And Dave was looking to start something, so I brought Ollie in, and then when we brought Dave in, and then Dave brought Jesse, and then I think we work best when we're all together.
That's how we write now.
Yeah. At first it would be I had like 20 songs or something demoed on my computer, and we used maybe like 2 of them.
No, we did more than that. We used at least
3 or 4.
3 or 4.
Maybe
Yeah.
3 or 4.
Yeah, because
But now I just kind of stopped demoing our stuff on my computer. I just kind of bring it into the jam room because the results to me are a lot better. And I think having me, who's a punk metal guy, and Ollie, who's similar, and then having Mike and Jesse, who are playing in their old band, which was like a post-rocky kind of thing. I think mixing all that together is what kind of gives us that unique little sound.
Yeah.
Because what I would think of drums and all that isn't what Jesse plays, and I think that's cool.
It's definitely I think it's working towards something now. We've been playing for like 6 months, 7 months.
Yeah, I think we're starting to
yeah.
find our sound now. Especially with the newer songs, I think we're starting to get to where we like to be, maybe, or like what we're all kind of striving for.
Well, because we got like me and Steve working tight together and then we got Jesse and Mike. Hold on, if I can cross these fingers too. And then we got Dave.
Dave just fills in the gap.
Yeah, Dave just fills us all in.
And giggles.
It's kind of like that.
Yeah,
it's pretty good right there.
Satisfying.
This is
satisfying
the
memory.
And he puts out our records, so we don't have to pay for it.
tapes.
And everyone
Tapes
loves
us.
him. Everywhere we go, everyone's like, "Hey, it's Dave Norman."
Yeah,
Everybody
Dave Norman
loves
is our
Dave.
selling. He's
Yeah.
what sells us.
He's the poster boy.
The music's terrible. People just like Dave.
I want a poster.
All right, let's go.
He's our meal ticket.
All right, shut up. Okay.
There's a lot of inspirations for this band.
Yeah,
'cause
there are a lot of different ones
what
too.
a lot of people compliment us on is our big variety of I guess there's only been 3 songs released so far, but if you see us live or keep up with what we're gonna put out for the next year, we're pretty varied in our sounds, which we get a lot of compliments for. So I think that's because our inspirations are all over the board, and like it's hard to name a bunch of inspirations.
We did this thing when we were kind of getting introduced to each other, where Steve asked over like a Facebook chat what all the bands that we all listen to.
Yeah, that was.
And there was like it was all over the place, and maybe with some of these guys, they kind of crossed over. But I know with like the bass player Mike and I,
didn't cross over.
nothing really crossed over. But it all sort of works out.
Yeah, yeah.
I think it's better
100%.
to have that much variety as opposed to everyone is like, oh, we really love this one band. We all love this one band. We should make it sound like
that
this
band,
one
yeah.
band.
We have parts where we're like,
Yeah.
oh, that's
Yeah, we have often those parts where like, oh, that sounds like this band, or that sounds like that band.
that's the Lone Predator part.
That's Lone Predator.
That's the Young Mountain part or Old Soul part.
And then my
Yeah.
brother's
Yeah.
always telling me we sound really, really black metal, a lot of our songs. And I'm like, I dig that because it's like, I love black metal. Steve loves black
We love
metal.
black metal.
And just the style, the approach on the guitar, like maybe our beats aren't like da-da-da-da-da-da. But
I think for writing, my
Sometimes.
biggest inspirations are black metal, post metal, like melodic crust, and then just
Follow
all
a fraffer, let's be honest.
yeah.
It's totally follow fraffer for you. And the way that
Pretty
you
much.
write without knowing it sounds to me like Amber, which I love.
they're a good
And
band. I just don't know
how to
that much of
describe
them.
drums.
I
just know
play
your drums.
drums.
Are great. yeah. Okay, let's move on.
Well, it's like, yeah, like a Deftonesy thing.
Just
going
plays
Yeah,
Oh,
sure, I like
and Mike listens to a lot of like, what would you even call that? Like the metal stuff, like Meshuggah
Yeah,
Meshuggah.
Meshuggah.
and like
Meshuggah.
Meshuggah with two.
Meshuggah.
Mike's big into like Meshuggah and Primus,
Yeah.
Deftones.
Yeah.
But then some sort of, I don't know what he likes, like Alexis on Fire and like
Yeah.
Biffy
Some
Clyro and a
crossover
lot of
there.
stuff like that. So he's pretty technical with his playing, but it works out really well. He loves heavy stuff too. So
Yeah.
Dave.
from a
Yeah,
lyrical
Dave writes
point of
the
view,
lyrics.
From a lyrical
Dave
point of
writes the
view,
lyrics.
I mean, it varies. Because we have one song. I have a song about Game of Thrones, and I have a song that's about nothing, and then his end ended up being about a video game. So
Yeah, sort of. Yeah.
so some of those lyrics and messages, they're just not really even there. It's just what it is. But a fair amount of the songs are very political and just angry. So I don't know. It might be a message from myself, but it's not necessarily one that comes from the whole band. Because we all have different beliefs and stuff like that. But yeah, I don't know. It's mostly just to open your eyes because everyone's basically being fucked and no one knows.
It's just a general sort of thing. You can put a lot of passion into talking about things like that.
Yeah.
It's passionate sounding music, but in the end, that's what it's about: is the music we're creating with that passion, and not being up our own asses.
Mhm.
Yeah, I mean, there's some bands that obviously they put forth their message pretty heavily, and I do listen to a lot of those bands that do that.
Mhm.
And but I think yeah, Ollie and Dave have the right idea. Is that we kind of channel everything in. We're generally just not dicks to people.
Yeah, I think we're pretty
so.
nice
I'd like
for
to
the
think
most
so.
part.
Yeah, like people to have a good time at shows and but we're not going out of our way to preach anything.
Yeah.
Are we in a punk band?
Mike would say
Yeah,
no.
Mike would not
Mike
like
would-
that question.
No, he would say we're a metal band.
Mike doesn't even like punk, but I mean,
No.
it's okay.
Can't trust me.
Well, we definitely have. I mean, we've got a lot of DIY going on, so
Yeah.
I mean that's pretty. punk in
Yeah, I
itself
think it's
right there.
it's a strain of punk that's.
We don't have a fucking rock star or even a fucking money making attitude. So I guess that's associated with the punk ethic.
Yeah.
I think my favorite thing about playing in this as a punk band is that we just get to set up and play really fucking loudly, and yeah, and people seem to really enjoy it.
There's no bullshit. It's
No
just kind of
pomp
let's
and
just
circumstance.
play and
We just
then
kind of
hang out
set up
afterwards.
and
I
drop
think-
a bomb, and
yeah.
we don't say anything.
Those
in between
people,
songs,
a
and we
lot of the people that come out, to see shows that we play in with other bands that we play with, super passionate,
Down
really,
to earth people.
yeah,
Yeah.
really supportive, and it's really fun.
Yeah.
yeah.
But I've always thought, even as a personal opinion, I've always thought it's a stupid idea to label ideas of what some people think punk is, and so I don't care. I mean, we're all we had an idea of calling our band Cats and Dads because we're three of us have kids, and then we got a bunch of cats, and it's it's
all of
cats.
us have cats.
yeah. So it's just
It was never too serious from the
Yeah.
beginning, I guess.
Then we just do whatever. We just do whatever the fuck we want, really. And I think that's pretty much the most punk.
That ain't
thing
just
you can
punk.
do.
That's rock and roll, motherfuckers.
Yeah.
And Murtex.
Uh,
He's in a couple of other things.
Yeah, the only mainly active one I play in right now is a punk band, skate punk band called Adelita, and I've got some other stuff in the works, but nothing too.
He has two solo projects as well. At least two
Not
that I know.
solo; they're collaborative projects, but yeah, Open Letter and Yakutia, but that will be coming out sometime.
When you feel like it, you do what you want.
yeah.
When I yeah.
Best plug ever.
I'm not doing a ton of stuff right now. I play in Mike and I play in a hip hop band, drums and bass for a monster themed kind of funny hip hop band where we dress up like monsters. It's called Monster Fever.
There's videos.
Yeah, there's a bunch of music videos.
There's, you
And
check
then
that out
him
on
and I,
YouTube.
we also came from some bands together. We played in an alternative rock band called You, Me, and the Machine, which is sort of on a hiatus because we've been playing for 15 years.
The Tragedy.
Oh yeah, and I played in sort of, I don't know what, something similar to this sort of
Circle
Takes
Takes the
Circle
Chords.
Takes the Square worship
It's a
band.
worship band basically in London a few years back. So I come from a mixed variety
Were you
background.
in any other bands?
I just kind of record shit at home for fun. I did for a while
Oh, you do your movie stuff as well.
yeah, I do all the music for my movies now too. So
What's your online thing? It's like dog. something.
Dog Science Prod. Go to the Dog Science Prod page. Wes Scantlin, Public Intoxication Man.
Yes.
There's
parts,
my
Out
shameless
now.
plug. Out now on
part 1 to 4.
YouTube. Change your fucking life. But yeah, I just record bullshit at home. I hadn't really done a lot in a while, so it was a good outlet and a good fucking collaborative thing, and actually some motivation to work towards something actually could work on that, or I could not, because it's only me who cares about it.
But now we care.
Now
Yeah, there
we
you
care.
go.
Now we all care together.
Yeah.
We live in Hamilton. We're from Hamilton, Ontario.
Canada. Canada.
It's better than Cambridge, Ontario. Canada.
That's saying a whole lot.
It's Hamilton. It's not Toronto.
Yeah, it's a shame.
I mean, but technically Toronto's sort of part, I would say, of it. I think the majority of.
It's impossible to get someone from Toronto to a show in Hamilton.
That's true, but I think
it's easy to get someone in Hamilton to go to a show.
Yeah,
in Toronto.
it's a bigger community in a better scene, I think, probably in Toronto,
Oh,
and
yeah.
I think Montreal is probably pretty good.
Let's just be honest. The Hamilton scene is not that good because it's saturated and it's really hard to get people out to shows, and people don't have a lot of money. So sometimes you can sell a fair amount of merch, but sometimes there's no merch sold.
Yeah,
And I'm not even talking about our band. I'm talking about putting on shows for other bands and seeing them come through. And
Pretty
having
good
that happen.
turnout on a Friday, but just
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's,
Or release,
it's very
yeah.
hit or miss, and you can't do a weekday show. We've noticed.
yeah, or even like a Sunday night show.
Yeah.
So like
Yeah.
Friday, Saturday.
The Hamilton scene's good. I just don't think it's very good for what we do.
Yeah, and we're new, and there's no other screamo bands in this area, so it's not really even many like hard things like us. Not that they're not here. It's just, I don't know.
If you're really into like heavy like metal stuff, then yeah, Hamilton is a great place to be.
It's okay.
It's I
All right, next.
can't think of one single label that's any good.
Yeah, I can't think of anyone who I know who's like worked even like slightly hard.
Any-
put, like,
yeah.
minimal
Okay,
effort.
Anybody
Inspiring
who puts
labels.
Label.
Level Plane Records, without a
Oh,
doubt,
crap.
is the reason I started a label. So
Crap
Level
label.
Plane Records was the bomb.
I've been loving pretty much everything that Alerta Antifascista has been putting out. I've been trying to convince Dave to do many
Con
trades
stuff.
with them.
Waiting for it.
Halo Flies is another one that I've been pretty much loving everything they've been putting out. What other screamo labels do I
Friendly
like?
Otter.
Dingleberry
Friendly-
Records.
Dingleberry Records is really
Who's
good.
that?
I don't know.
Life in Vacuum.
They're a band.
Life
Oh,
and
I thought you
Vacuum
liked
is a
them enough
band.
that it was like,
said,
yeah, it's
said
one of the reasons
bands,
why I
it
like
said
playing this.
venues.
I thought we were just talking
It was
about
a bunch
record
of shit.
labels.
No, that's just what I started with. They said venues.
It's a segue.
Oh, venues.
It's a segue.
As
They
well.
said all different stuff.
Anyone
who
Venues, bands.
Fucking
all
starts
shit.
a record label in 2016 is just a big dummy.
Oh,
Or in a few years before, but still
Yeah.
runs it in 2016 and brings their
That's
distribution
even
to
dumber.
shows for people who already have money to go through and look at. I mean, that's just a silly idea.
Yeah, silly.
It is pretty silly.
Silly. I've never bought anything off someone who just set up with baskets at like a local flea market, say.
It's-
Who
with
buys
red
records?
records.
we
anymore?
never meet people
Never.
at places like that.
We've never met and assembled our band based on meetings at places like this.
100% not the punk flea market.
So I guess
that's
the
one
punk
that I know
rock
was.
flea market technically is like, aside from all our sarcasm, that's like an influential.
very
local
You know what?
DIY
Yeah.
punk
Give
thing.
it up to the Hamilton
met
Punk
Dave
Rock Flea
there.
Market.
Yeah.
Yeah, we met
the
Dave
first
there.
time. The first time I ever met Dave Norman, he sold me La Quiete and Via Fondo.
You can't get any better than that.
He told me
Life-changing,
that one is the
actually.
best screamo album of all time, which is pretty up there, and the other one was just amazing, and it was amazing. And then fast forward like a year later, we'd be playing together.
there you go.
There you go. Yeah, yeah.
Ken
I know,
Mode,
and then the
Ken
Polar
Mode
Bear
was
one after.
amazing.
The Polar Bear one was after.
Our release show was amazing.
The Beat Show was pretty cool.
D
Yeah,
Bistro was
I
awesome
really enjoyed that.
with Worst Gift.
Terry
and
Green, Black
News
Love.
as Sean. No, not News as Sean, Black Love.
Black Love.
Yep.
And we're pretty excited for next month, or I don't know when this is going to be
9 more
posted.
days.
This month
But-
is this not May? Are we in May?
Yeah, we're in May now.
This month.
Oh fuck, yeah, this month. I don't know when this is going to be posted,
shows
but
and days.
we got a couple really good shows coming up this month. You can check out our Facebook.
We get to play with Lock Tender and Atlantic Waters, Respire, and La Luna in one show, which is
Yeah.
stupid.
And then we got a show with Jillian Carter.
Yeah, we got a show with Julian Carter after
Yeah.
that, and then Respire again. And new records that are coming out. Ooh, plug. Old Soul is coming out. You excited for Old Soul?
Yeah. I'm not excited.
And like other shows that like aren't ours. Steve and I are going to see Belvedere.
When is that?
That's on the 21st of May.
Yeah, it's gonna be
It's
awesome.
gonna be fun.
The the new records. That's hey, there you go. Their new record's pretty awesome.
We have like the 2 releases coming up, and then we have another song that we're gonna do some vocals for, and then release that on something.
Yeah, at least 2 releases this year.
And we have 2 other songs that we have that we'll probably do a 7-inch for, but that won't be till later. And then
You gotta record those.
Yeah, we gotta record those ones, but they're ready to go.
Yeah.
Now, and then we'll do an LP hopefully, but that won't be till like next year.
Yeah, we've started writing.
We have the first song.
Started working towards a full length.
We're working on a second.
Yep.
Yeah, I don't even remember.
We have 2 songs with parts done, but we have videos of them.
Honestly, for the last like 3 or 4 weeks, we've been just focusing on practicing for shows coming up. But I think lots of ideas. Once we actually get down to like working on new songs, I think they're gonna come pretty quickly.
Yeah,
we're
we
pretty fast.
write pretty fast. So
It's like
we've
a song
written
of
what?
practice,
How many songs now?
If you want to.
12
12
songs?
or something.
12 songs within what?
12.
How many?
6 or 7 months. But I mean, those are ones that we've kept. There's been a lot of other ideas, obviously, that.
Yeah, it's true. Like one practice jam.
Yeah. So.
Final word.
What are we all taking like a cyanide pill now after this interview?
Yeah.
Oh, final word is.
Yeah, you said that was halfway through. And that was...
Passion. It's our band motto. You gotta have.
We just say it.
Passion.
No, we don't just say it. That's the
Passion.
point, I guess.
You live it. You can't just say it.
Yeah, you don't just say it.
You live it.
You gotta actually say it, spray it, and everything else you can do. Fillet it.
So we just wanted to say thanks to Carol from idioeq for doing this interview and helping us out, and a lot of other amazing bands and labels out as well. You're awesome.
Yes, thanks.
Thanks,
And,
Carol.
Go to check out our Split EP.
On Bandcamp, which is bandcamp.com/
It's theworldthatsummer.bandcamp.com.
That's it.
Also on Zeg and the Beach Records.
Yeah.
You can find it there too.